According to Peter F. Drucker, the father of modern management, the two growth sectors of the century are education and healthcare. We ended last century in industrial revolution. This century starts with knowledge revolution. Another aspect, according to Peter Drucker, is the last century we had finance as a resource for development. In this century, the new resource is knowledge instead of finance. How this is going to be a part of the economy is yet to be seen. Nobody has clearly given a picture about the definition of this knowledge economy, but everyone says and agrees this century is going to be a century of knowledge economy. In 1991, we liberalized the whole economy so that people come from outside with FTI, FIM and so many other areas. So the finance came from outside along with their products and services, and suddenly we found a change in our country. This change what we found in 1991 after the liberalization was mainly the resource mobilization from one part of the world to the other part, and that is what we call globalization. And the root of all those globalization impact is based on finance. Now, since this century starts with knowledge as a resource for development, how this could affect the new development of our country is something to be pondered over. If suppose what we experienced finance liberalization in 1991 has enabled us to develop, and knowledge is the new resource for development, can you think in a different paradigm of knowledge liberalization so that the country can develop? India is a very large country with history of civilization, tradition, values, culture. Put together, we have our own philosophy among the modern nations. Gandhiji and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, these two prominent our forefathers, gave a clear picture vision for the future of our country. This was based on their faith and their culture, their tradition, their religion, or even not being religious like Nehru, atheist. All put together, we found a philosophy which is matching to the modern development. That is democracy, rule by law, by constitution, and social justice to the maximum. This gave our country to be a part of the global development. Unlike neighbors, we had stability. The people of our country, democracy has become a habit. It is very difficult to change this habit of the people. Whenever they want, they will elect a government. Whenever they don't want, they will throw away the government. This is the power of our people. Now, if you look to education, the education goes in 3 decades. The first decade of 5 to 15 years is the basic primary and secondary education. During this 5 to 15 years, what you call SSLC or SSC or matriculation or whatever it is there, pre-university, some secondary school, we find the basic things they teach in the college schools are language, mathematics, civics, certain basic sciences and moral sciences. So this not only gives a foundation for further education, but also this period gives an area of development of character formation, which is very important in our education. Once they pass their SSLC, they choose a career for higher education. What the statistics say, according to many, 88% do not go for higher education. That doesn't mean those people who do not come to the higher education are not talented, not intelligent, etc. What we should try for a growth of the country through knowledge education, liberalization, what we call as knowledge liberalization, also tap the people of 88% who have no opportunity for development. A certain policy if you are able to bring by the government, the private and the educationists, academicians, to come out from every school the most intelligent students who has no opportunity to go further studies. Select that cream of that highly intelligent students of any school and pull them together for higher education. then our country will have a big development and also an inclusive growth along with social justice. So this is one area we can think of education along with liberalization. The other area what you find is research. It is through research alone education has got values. What is usually done is education is absorption. You absorb something, but what is the application of this education? That is not very clearly defined. So the general trend of the education is to absorption, but it should be made into a productivity as such, so that the beneficiary out of the education will be seen in the public or in the country or among the society. So we should have creativity and research, and that should be encouraged from every level for the students. Various types of creative approach to unleash their potential, hidden talents and potential, and how best they can come out of their talents which is not usually seen, and that should be given for creativity and research. The other aspects is we are very important. Unless there is quality for anything, there is no recognition. Through quality we excel, and in the Western education it is the highest quality that counts there. And as you have seen, once you excel in quality, then there is something substantial to the knowledge and it is being recognized, and that is why the excellent education in the West is dominating and the people around are following Western type of education, which brings tremendous results. So therefore the fundamental things are basic education for foundation in the up to SSLC, which also brings character formation. Then higher studies is for the people who can afford, and also for those people who cannot afford an opportunity. And collectively, with the liberalization of knowledge, like liberalization of finance in the earlier years, and about 1991, if you think in a new dimension that how knowledge can be liberalized as a resource from outside with collaboration or development and alliances with various universities, etc., etc., I am sure the country will develop and also match with the new resource knowledge as part of our development, which will find not only development but also social justice with maximum justice to the maximum people in our country.